One thing about sports, we were talking about sports earlier, like, I'm gonna dominate my matchup. The guy that's matched up with me, I'm here to dominate your night, bro. That's not necessarily nervous, a little anxious to do that.
Yeah, that comes after the nerves kind of
Go away. After you break a sweat and somebody
it's
comes
probably
by.
the same way for y'all, like when that beat drop and y'all finally get, and y'all see the crowd saying,
you
like,
in
yo, I'm
mode.
about to dominate this moment.
Yeah, you gotta get in mode. It's like,
You said that and Stacks grabbed the flute.
Yeah, he like,
The energy hit
I was
him.
just gonna say that because
You still
like, me and
wanna
my
dominate the
friend, we
guy.
compare rapping to basketball. Like we be like this person was new in the game and they was the hottest and they was at all. Like we always compare rapping
for
to
sure.
basketball.
So you got that nerves, Mav, and then like right kind of before, you know, the curtains open and you see the crowd and
Gotta get
the
him on.
lights come on, boom. You like, now it's time to dominate.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I be
yeah.
like, I'd be in the bag. They like, it's okay, you got this, you got this. I'd be sipping water, like somebody pass me this. They like, calm down, and I just be standing there quiet, like. Then as soon as the stage up, I come out there like,
Yeah.
like y'all ain't gonna know I'm nervous back here.
I always say, never hate on nobody because you don't know where they're gonna end up.
The worst thing that can happen is you allow something that you have no control over affect your inner peace.
I know what I'm capable of, so like it's just gonna take them to notice.
I'm coming around talking about I want to be a professional biker out there, like, you're that white boy.
I can say whatever. They can't cancel me. They can't pronounce my name.
When it appears as if I'm in my bag, I know that it's God.
Here we go, season 7. But as they say, time flies when you're having fun, and time has went fast.
I always say this, we're lucky to have these jobs where we get to sit with incredible people that in all cases we're fans of, but we also learn a lot while we're here, right?
Here's to more great conversations, great moments, and of course, great style.
Always great style.
Here's to season 7.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Like if they addressing you.
They call me sexy. You gonna hear all them say sexy.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So that's cool if we say sexy.
Yeah, that's cool. Say
Okay,
sexy.
what if I say red?
Yeah, because you
I
said
don't know what you're
red.
talking
See,
about.
I just thought.
When she walked up, you said red.
I
That's
said, what's up, red?
I don't be like mad, but like I go by sexy.
Okay, all right, sexy.
Okay.
Who gave you that name?
This dude, we was trying to figure out a name for me. It was red, but we gotta put something in front of it, and then it's like.
Oh, when you was becoming a rapper, it was like, oh.
Yeah, to upload my first little YouTube rap video. We was like, what name you gonna put? I'm like, I don't know. And we was thinking of stuff. And he said, Sexyy Red. I'm like, I like that.
Sexy red.
How long ago was that?
That was like six years ago.
Did you have a rap name before that? Mm-hmm. What was your
I had a
rap
regular name. It was Trill Red. That was my street name.
name? Trill
Red.
Trill Red.
Wait,
That's
so
hard.
from the street see you, they call you Trill?
Yeah, like your Facebook name. That's what it was.
Trill red. God damn.
Yeah, that's called my Facebook name.
What was your first rap name?
Black Wolf.
For real.
Black Wolf, how old
And
were
Big
you?
Boy was Black Dog.
How old
Black
were
Dog,
you?
Black Wolf. 16.
And you guys had a name before Outkast.
Yeah, we was 2 Shades Deep.
Two Shades Deep.
Like we were big, Tribe Called Quest fans. Like, so we was kind of like, the 3-word names were in at the time. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's like y'all was in sync.
Yeah. That was, the way at the
How
time.
did y'all change it? The name of the group and y'all, like y'all?
Cause then somebody in our high school, man, they stole our name. There's a singing group, they gonna call themselves like 4 Shades Deep. We're like, man, you done stole that. No, for real, they called it themselves 4 Shades Deep. And I was like, they done stole our name, and we was kind of like Outkast in the high school because we dressed different.
Period.
And so, we was like, we just gonna be Outkast.
So I do gotta ask, we were asking what to call Sexy. We figured out it's Sexy. You yourself, it's 3 Stacks.
It depends
André,
on who
Dre.
you're talking to.
Okay, what would you
Like
prefer
my
to go by?
homies, they call me like Stacks, 3,000. Dre, Big call me Dre.
Still.
Partners in the hood call me 3 or Stacks. Yeah.
Which one you prefer? You answered.
It don't matter.
You answered all. Yeah, exactly.
Them some tight nicknames.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
some hard.
thank
Oh yeah, Stacks.
Stacks.
What's your nicknames?
Him,
Yeah.
The one and only. No,
Serious. Straight like that.
nah.
What's your name, him? I'm him.
What's your nickname? That.
Right. Okay, I'm taking that. Her.
That's for sure. And now we got 3 stacks on the flute.
Yeah, we got,
I went to the show in New York. I went to one of their shows in New
I
York.
know.
It was incredible too,
Was it
by the
fun?
way. Yeah, it was
That's
vibe.
crazy, because I
Did he rap?
I didn't know you was at the show until after the show.
Yeah, it was a vibe.
Well, I also want to
It
give
was
some
a vibe.
backstory. You were in New York for like 2 days, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And on the group text, you're like, I have to go to this show.
No, I have to go. Because it was a small venue. So, you know, that gonna fill up quick.
The Blue Note.
The Blue Note, yeah.
Those were some of our first shows.
Yeah.
So we like stepped in the belly of the beast. Like our very first shows, like we in kind of like a well-known jazz club, you know, and it was like, whoa, we in here.
Very famous jazz.
Yeah, very famous.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all
yeah.
the tables close to each other. Like ain't much wiggle room in there. Once you sit down, sit your down now. Ain't no
it's
getting
a
up,
tight,
leave, come
tight
back.
little
Yeah, it's
spot.
tight, tight little spot.
What did you expect? Did you have an expectation?
Well, I mean, I listened to the album a few times.
Okay.
You know, so I just went in just like on some vibe. I want to just feel the vibration. And he a funny too. I ain't know how funny he is. So like during his sets, after he get done with his set, he just gets popping off talking like, hey, I ain't about to be here rapping. So if that's what y'all looking for, y'all go ahead and get up out of here. Or you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to make noise in here. I need y'all to ride with me. Like he be on some funny. I ain't know that.
I be trying to defuse it, because
Yeah.
I don't want people to think, you know, I love jazz music, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't want people to be thinking that I'm trying to be a jazz musician.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. So I don't take myself that serious as jazz musicians now. Like jazz is a studied music, so I kind of like just try to humanize, you know.
Yeah.
So even with some of the titles on the album, I was like really trying to poke fun of it or just, you know, have
But
fun.
jazz is also very inviting style of music too.
Oh, for
like
sure.
If you like it and want
But
to
it's
rock,
so elitist though, too, though.
It's
you know,
elitist,
in
yeah.
ways, because, you know, a lot of jazz cats, they went to school, man. Like they studied, man. So, you know, I don't want people to think that I'm trying to be a jazz musician. You know, I kind of look at myself as just like a sonic displayist. Like I don't know what notes I'm playing, to be completely honest. So I ain't trying to pretend like, you know, I know what I'm doing in a way. I actually don't know what I'm doing, and that's part of the art. So, yeah.
It's something you want to do, so it don't matter.
Yeah, and I get real enjoyment out of it, and people do
Right.
as well. It's really the freest ever.
Yeah.
Because I ain't no freestyle rapper. Like, I don't sit around, I never have been, like, if you put a beat on and I'm sitting around making up raps. Like, I'm a writer.
Right, me
So this
too.
is the most free I've ever been, like, so I'm like, yeah, I'm loving it. You
That's
know?
good.
So,
Find
is it
something-
safe?
find
I was just
something
gonna,
you
I
like.
was just gonna follow. Is it safe to say if Bron went to your show in New York, and then he goes to a show in Chicago a week later, he's gonna hear something different?
He definitely will hear something. Even if you go, we were doing two
Two nights in a row, yeah.
nights at the show Bron came to, and it was like, we'll do a 75-minute set, take an hour break, and then they'll bring in a new crowd, and we'll do a whole nother set. Those 2 shows in the night gonna be different. So it's like, we really don't know where we're gonna go, and it's kind of like you have to fill it out. And it's really a exploratory thing, man. We just exploring, man. Yeah.
But you said, Sexy, you're a writer too. Like you write.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go in the studio and just listen to a beat and start saying.
I have did that, and them was like the ones that everybody liked. Like it was crazy, cause I'm like the freestyles be the ones that go viral and stuff. When I
But
ain't
you
even-
rather write.
I rather write though. Like
Like
I
you-
want
when
to
you
come
get-
in there ready and just go record. I don't want to be in there trying to think.
When you show up to the studio, you got your wrote out.
Sometimes, or I come and sit in there and I write it, and then I go in the booth. Cause my team be like, go in there, just record. I be like, no, I'm finna write it down, then I'm recording. Yeah, that's how I do
And
it.
then go there.
Intention.
And for you, Jerry, as a designer, what he said, I was thinking about you. Were you at all intimidated, like, oh, people study and live their whole life doing this, and I'm just gonna take it on and do it?
Yeah, I think 1,000% you feel as if you're not qualified, right? And as you continue to follow what starts off as like having confidence in what's missing in the market, and it slowly turns into a conviction, your fears of what other people, how they see what you're putting in the world kind of go to the side, and you're more driven by this thing that you once, I guess, were inspired to do into now something you believe in. And that doesn't require a title.
Does it frustrate you when people say that to you? Like, oh, you're a designer, you're a fashion, you're a merchant, you're a whatever they say you are?
I hate when anyone puts a label on me and it becomes their prison of how they see me. You know, it's like the whole shut up and dribble, right? It's like, oh, this is just a part of me. This is just another element to all that, you know, God has designed me to do, so.
Yeah.
And do you feel the same way about, like, you know, we talk about like streetwear. Like, is Fear of God a streetwear brand? Is it just a fashion brand? How would you characterize what your brand is?
I think it's luxury. Even if it is essentials, I think it's luxury. You know, I think what I'm trying to do is to free people up to be the best version of themselves. And when you're the best version of who you are, that's the ultimate feeling of luxury. Whether it's a hoodie or a leather fit, head to toe. You know what I mean?
When you come up emulating the ones before you, right? So I'm sure it translates for you as well, like in basketball, right? Emulating and for you, you know, getting onto the game, and for you as a designer. And then at some point, it clicks over where it's like, it's more you than the person you emulate. Do you remember what that point was, or how that happens, how you get to that point?
Well, I think you know, looking up to people when you're growing up and trying to figure out what you want to do, it gives you kind of like, gives you hope. You know, that, you know, you watching these people on television, or you reading them in newspapers or magazines or at the local library or whatever the case may be, you need a sense of hope. You know, you would grow up in the inner city, we don't have much. It's not much inspiration.
Yeah.
One thing we do notice, we don't want to end up maybe like our homeboy or our homegirl or something that happened last week or whatever the case may be, when we just seen them last week, now we're not seeing them again. So, you know, having that aspiration that's outside the city, I'm inspired to want to be like Michael Jordan. He's in Chicago, you know, I'm in Akron, Ohio, whatever the case may be. So, you know, having that aspiration to want to be something greater than what's going on in my community, that's when it starts to flow. You know, you start to be like, okay, he black, I'm black. He from Wilmington, North Carolina. Seems like a very rural place that ain't got much going on there. I'm from Akron, Ohio, ain't much going on here. So there is possibility of getting out of this.
Hope.
That's how I be. Like, if they can do it, I know I can.
Yeah, there's hope.
Who was that for you, Sexyy?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a lot of people, because I seen like a lot of girls that was coming up, get in the rap game and stuff, and then I'm like, oh, so they like this. What I know they like what I got to say then. I'm like, why they ain't with me then? Like, I ain't know what it'd take for them to like notice me. But once they did notice me, it was up. I knew it. I knew it though.
What'd you think did it? That people started to know? Is it a certain song? Is it a certain demeanor?
Nope, I feel like it was just my time. Because like my baby daddy got locked up, and then I was like more focused. I was like, dang, now I could focus.
And who helped you develop your, as Dre said, like, develop his pen and writing, like
sound?
Usually it's a producer. It could be a producer. I think probably you was probably in the dungeon. You also had a partner.
Yeah.
Because a little bit, like, who helped you develop that sound?
Nobody, me.
You did it all yourself?
Who else gonna do it, man?
But who you was listening to though? Like, cause I heard you one time say I'm the female Gucci Mane.
Yeah, I was listening to some of everybody, man. Like, I'm weird. Like, you probably wouldn't even think I sit and just say, turn on André, and be like, hey, yeah. Like, I be on weird. I be on weird, man. So like, you never know what I'm finna turn on.
Yeah.
Like, I be in the car, we'll be smoking, and I just go somewhere else.
I will say to any artist though too, like, don't just listen to the genre that you in.
Nah, I don't.
Because like, what expounds or makes a genre better is things coming outside of it, getting into it, you know, and you interject that into, like, if you listen to classical music and you say, oh man, I love that classical music, but people ain't really listening to that. But if I put that on some drums, it takes it a certain kind of way, you know what I mean? So I think when you say I listen to everything, like, that's one thing about Outkast, like, we was just, me and Big listened to everything. Like, it was, and to that point, at a certain point, we felt like we can do everything because we listen to everything.
That's
so,
how I feel.
Yeah, I think music is just, you don't have to do one thing, you know, if you don't want to.
It
but
opened the
all
door
the
for other stuff, for sure.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah, like, you can go be in a movie, you can start a fashion line, you can be a chef, for real. Like, you can do whatever you want to once you, like, in the game.
What do you want to do with it?
I'm multi-talented. I want to do everything. Like when I was coming up, I used to make my own clothes. I got a lip gloss brand. I used to sell lip gloss. Like, I did hair. I used to do hair.
She a hustler.
You still a hustler.
Yeah.
I like that
Yes,
style.
like I've been hustling this. Y'all want me to tell y'all how I knew I was hustling? Cause I sat back, I said, dang, I've been had hustling in my blood. Cause when I was a little kid, I used to go to school. I used to be selling Kool-Aid out the little packets, like the Kool-Aid and sugar. I cry the kids over to the corner of the slide, give me my money here, pour it in their hand, I ain't gonna lie. I used to take the chips and the snacks from home, honey buns, oatmeal pies, come to school selling it to the kids. I'm like, Mama, they be saying they hungry, so she let me fill my book bags up.
The candy lady.
Yeah, for sure. We all had them.
I've been a hustler, and then when I was in middle school, I used to do my own hair, and then I seen the girls needed their hair done, so they started coming to me like, can you do my hair? And I'm like, sure. I'm in middle school, I'm just doing some, but it started like, and that's how it got me popping. Like, I was known as the hood hottest hairstylist.
Yeah, I used to cut hair too.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, I used to cut all the kids in the hood. Their mama used to come bring them.
Period. That's how I
$5
was.
a head. Yeah, before, because when you're an artist, really.
I'm about to say,
when you're an artist, like
every
cutting
artist
hair
in the
is
hood
like,
really be.
because it's really sculpting. That's really what it is. You're just
Yeah,
sculpting. You
for
know what I mean?
sure.
Like, and fade is just kind of like
For
taking,
sure.
removing material.
Where'd you get the confidence, not only like musically, to do like, you know, like you were just talking about, like out of the box, like not just traditional, what we've been used to, but also from a fashion style. Like I think of like, hey, yeah, I think of like the outfit. Like where'd that confidence come from early in your career?
Over time, my influences from, once I started producing on the second album, you know, I'm buying records and I'm looking at the back of albums, looking at all the groups that I'm into, looking at Parliament Funkadelic, looking at Sly Stone, looking at those players who played with James Brown, blah, blah, blah. And I started to notice the people that I was attracted to. And I was like, that's who I want to be like, you know? So a lot of my heroes, from Prince to Sly, that's all in me, like punk artists. I always went to like who looked like they having the most fun, telling the most truth. So that's kind of like, that was a big influence. And honestly, man, my crew, man, like all the people in me and Big and CeeLo were the youngest in the dungeon at the time. All my homies from Rico to Gil, Cujo, Timo, they were a little older than us, so they had been rapping longer than us. So we kind of like sitting and watching. Like my first studio session was hanging out with Rico and them, going, and Gip used to be in a group called East Point Chain Gang. And so my first studio visit was hanging with Reek, they going to the studio to produce Gip them. So it's kind of like my whole crew, like when you build a community of people, which is so important, when you have crews, in the dungeon, it became like an island, and we developed our own lingo, our own slang, our own look, and you build confidence in your crew where you don't give what nobody outside that say. And it's kind of like, once you get that kind of power, you take it out in the world. Like same way like Japan wasn't with nobody for a long time. And they cultivated themselves and they became Japan, and then they opened up the doors. But they were confident in who they were, like they were confident in what they offered to the world. So I have to say, man, my crew built me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, rest in peace, Rico. But Rico, there were times when like I would say raps to Rico and he would just get up and walk. He might be smoking the blunt, he might get up and walk away, and it was so disrespectful to me as a kid. I was like, this mother, man, like, but to him, he was like, no, that ain't good enough. And so your crew make you harder, make you better.
Yeah, for
like,
sure, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
hell
Like,
yeah.
And if you in a dungeon, it was a real dungeon where it was like dirt on the wall.
Yeah,
it's
what
like,
was the, tell us what the, because we all know Dungeon Family.
Yeah,
but what was the
yeah.
physical place like? Because it was a studio almost, right?
It was a makeshift studio. We had like house speakers and a few drum machines and like car seats that would tow out of cars on dirt floors. It was like a crawl space in Rico's mama house, and Rico was kind and visionary enough to let us all young stay in her house in the basement.
That's crazy.
If she wouldn't have opened her doors and it wouldn't be no dungeon. Shout out Ms. Wade.
Period. Shout out to her.
Facts.
Yeah. He was like, sometimes you gotta have somebody with a cool mama.
Oh God, I was just finna say that.
Real, like,
it's always
she let
gonna be
us
that
smoke.
one friend in the group
She let
that
us
you got
smoke.
their house, they got
She
it
let y'all
all.
smoke while y'all was on there?
Yeah. We was never disrespectful.
But I'm
like,
sure from her point, y'all was safe.
And she was like, if they in my house, then I know they ain't out there doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody
And
needs
I
a
mean,
friend that got a mama like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would like agreed, but
It
we
beats
was smoking.
alternative.
Yeah,
She's probably like, it beats alternative,
we
you know?
was downstairs, and so she let it happen. And so it was really a house with a family, I mean, like Rico's two sisters were going to high school every day. We beating all night, beats like loud, like smoke all, and they got to wake up in the morning and go to school. Like it was a house, you know. So
she must have believed in y'all or something.
That's a
she
true
believed in
definition.
her
Take a
son,
village.
I believe.
That's
like,
what's up.
Like Rico was a hustler, man. Like Rico had the vision. Like Rico made us believe, you know. Like so.
R.I.P. Rico.
R.I.P. for sure.
Yeah. You asked me where it come from. I'm only like a product of the dungeon, you know. Like they gave me, cause I'm an only child. Like I wasn't really confident in school. Like it took me a minute to learn how to perform even. Like I was a nervous kind of like kid. So my dungeon kind of like gave me like a platform to kind of go free.
Go do yourself, yeah. You had the same thing, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Drew and-
Yep. I had the crew.
Same type of thing.
My mom was that mom though, because all the homies always used to come over my house. Cause my mom was like so. You know, my mom was only 16 years older than me, so I mean, I'm a high school freshman. My mom 30, so she ain't about to be in the house all day. She out doing her thing. I'm only child too, so like I get it. But all the homies always want to come to my crib.
Oh no, that sounds
Only
fun.
children.
Yeah,
Like, I know your mom let you have come. You the only child.
Yeah, mama was cool as hell.
My mom was strict as a mother.
Really?
Yeah, my mom, man, she wasn't having it, man. Like, my mom, but she did not play, and I'm the only child, man. It was like, and I think that's why I'm wild now, because she was so
Them only
strict,
kids be
man,
bad.
growing up.
Oh, yeah.
She was so strict, man. Like, and you gotta like, I dropped out of school and told my mama.
In what grade?
10th grade, no, 11th grade.
Oh, that's early.
Well, we was like smoking and leaving school. They kicked me out of school and sent me to alternative school. And that's when me and CeeLo met back up at the alternative school. And at that point, I'm rapping, I'm going to the dungeon every day. I'm like, man, I'm not doing this school. So I just kind of dropped out.
Got it.
And I told my mama I'm about to do this reciting words over beats thing. She's like, what the f-?
Reciting words over beats. Not I'm about to be a rapper.
I say it like that,
Mom, I'm about to be a rapper.
but
Boy,
I'm
if you don't
trying
get
to
your
legitimize this shit,
I'm about
you
to
know
do
what
these
I mean?
reciting words, Mom, over these
That is
musical
poems.
instruments.
And so
Poems
she
with
didn't
instruments in the
take
background.
that kindly, man. Like,
You thought you had that figured out before you.
Yeah, the wordplay before you
no,
went to
I
mom.
don't even think I said it like that, but
I
I'm
was
just
gonna
trying to
say.
think. I'm trying to think how she's thinking. Like, so you gonna say some words. You're gonna drop out of school and say some words over beats. That's your plan. And so I can understand from a mom's standpoint. She was like, hell no. And so she went with it. Like they wouldn't even let us sign our record deal. We could have signed early on, but my mama wouldn't let me do it.
Because you weren't
They wouldn't let
18
you
yet.
sign.
Yeah.
So we had to
You
wait.
need a guardian.
Yeah, you weren't 18 yet.
Yeah.
It is so, it's like I don't know about you guys, it's like a full circle moment for me. I'm from New York. Hearing these stories about Dungeon Family, hearing you at 16, and then remembering the South got something to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
You went to
What year
Source-
was that?
94.
The Source Award.
94, 95, I don't
And got
remember.
booed.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that? Do you remember that moment?
I totally remember it. It was not planned. It looked brave, but I was nervous as a mother. I was just angry, man, because like we in New York and we love New York. We grew up on all New York music, man. And when they announced who, I think the award was Best New Artist or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think Salt and Pepper and somebody else opened the envelope. So Best New Artist is Outkast? Like they read it like that.
Yeah.
So we were angry, like with Dungeon whole crew there, man. Like, and I was just angry, man. Like, and I just felt like, I don't know, it just came out. And I just said that, like,
What you say?
The South
I
got something
said
to
the
say.
South got something to say.
You should watch this
Y'all-
video. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember the whole thing, but I just knew hating on the South at that point. You know what I mean? It was wild, but I just remember just being really angry and driven because, like, we've been creating this music, man. We've been in the dungeon work, like, and we just felt like y'all don't get it,
Right.
you know. And sometimes you have to show people, man.
And it is well,
They
'cause
don't get
I'll
it.
tell you full circle, being
But
in
it
New
give you
York.
drive though, and I actually appreciate it now
Yeah, yeah.
because it made
For
us
sure.
go harder.
For sure. But
That's
I'll tell
how
you,
they did me, though.
But I'll tell you
Yeah.
full circle, being in New
Fuel.
York, and you guys probably heard this. It's like there was a time when New York wouldn't play any Southern music, any West Coast music,
On the
whatnot.
radio.
Right? On the radio, right? Hot
Yep.
97, Power, all that.
Yep.
And then that shifted, and New York radio started getting flack that they were only playing Atlanta, down south music, all that, and that New York artists were starting to sound like Atlanta artists.
Yeah,
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
what did that feel like, it coming full circle where like the music kind of shifted towards like Georgia?
I always say, never hate on nobody because you don't know where they're gonna end up, man.
That's the truth.
And it's just, what's always on top gonna be on bottom at some point. So it's just a shift. Just wait for your turn, man. It's gonna happen.
She said it. She said timing.
Yeah,
it's
for
gonna-
real.
it's
It
gonna-
just
it's
wasn't my
gonna
time.
happen.
You said
and I
they
went
did you
mad.
like that too?
Huh?
Who did you like that? You said they. I heard you say they.
Everybody, like, they still don't believe in me, so I just be like, I'm gonna just show y'all. And like he said, they don't be understanding, like, we really came from nothing, and then we be making a big achievements, like, that's something for us, and then they just be like, you ain't doing
But
nothing, but for
use
us,
it.
it's like,
Fuel.
ain't nobody doing this, so it's
Fuel, use it for fuel, hater fuel, man. It's the best. It's free energy.
I like when they talk about me, I ain't
That's
gonna
free
lie.
energy, because that make me go. That make me go in. I love when somebody doubts you.
Because I'm now finna show you something.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
I'll be
use
back.
it. Use it, use it.
Jerry, you being a black man in fashion, you must get that all the time, like gatekeepers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but I was gonna say, like, when we did that show at the Hollywood Bowl, the theme was the South got something to say. And I was like, I got something to say.
Yeah, man.
And I think that moment and the realness of that moment, you know what I mean, is what drove me to say, no, we're not showing in Paris. We got something to say right here in LA. And it's gonna be just as eloquent, just as sophisticated, just as beautiful, but, you know, still like every element, you know? And, you know, it's always a fight. It's
Did
always a
anybody
fight.
try and talk you out of that? Like, yo, you gotta show in Paris. You should be there.
Nah, no one tried to talk me out of it. I was too convicted going in. I tried to talk myself out of it a week before, like, please, Rain, like, what am I doing?
Because you got nervous?
Oh, man, I was scared to death. I was like, the week before, I was like, what the hell did I get myself into? You know, but the collection showed up, we started styling, I was like, you know, we already did the work. Once I started looking at the pieces, I was like, the work is done, we just gotta show up. But that moment, man, it was like, I remember that moment, 95.
Yeah, man.
I graduated high school in 95 like that. And I went to FAM, and I just remember, you know, even some of the lines back then, like, you know, all you think we are is hip hop is booty shake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
And then to like be here today, and it's like, we are that, and we are that. And it doesn't mean that
We all is.
one is
We all
All
is.
black people is
Yeah.
different, though.
one
All
is
black
better
people
than the
different.
other. You know what I mean? And it's like the fight to be able to just be what you want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that was the question that you were asking LeBron. Is like, okay, you were looking up to Mike, but at what point did you realize you can become something greater?
Right.
I was about 17.
Period.
17.
But you,
I think I was a junior in high school. That's when I think my summer of junior going into my senior year, I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. They had dubbed me the
That's
chosen
hard.
one. And in every tournament I was going to, playing against the consensus #1 players or top 100 guys, I was just like, I was doing that
Only you could do.
sometimes was out of body for myself. I couldn't even believe some of the that I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I think at that moment around 17, I knew I could be LeBron.
but do you still?
Like, and not Jordan, not Penny, not, you know, I could still use them as inspiration and still get some creative from them by still watching and studying them, because they've done it longer. And I'm still respecting that. I'm still respecting that craft, because they are doing it and they've done it and they've won, and whatever the case may be. Ken Griffey Jr. is part of that. Deion Sanders, you know, is a part of that. All, you know what I'm saying? But I started to feel like, oh, you can be a part of that room
Oh, God.
at 17, and it's up to you to go get it.
Do you still have out of bodies?
Hell yeah.
At this many hours of playing?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's when that
Hell
spirit
yeah.
working,
Yeah,
man.
that's
Hell
that
yeah.
spirit work.
Yeah, it's
Hell
kind of it's kind of like when you
Yeah.
transcend what you thought you could be.
Yeah.
That's a
for sure.
great moment,
Yeah.
man. I've seen it happen in my career. I've seen it happen in other rappers' careers where I'm sure they were like, "Whoa, I didn't even think I would
Yeah.
do that."
Dre, when you make, like going back to some of the Outkast, then you know, have you ever wrote a verse like, I think this is pretty good, and then put it out into the world, and the world be like, oh my, like you didn't, meaning you mismeasured it. You thought it was good, but then when you put it out for us, we was like, oh, this just went.
Like I said, he
crazy.
thought it was good, but it's great. The
But
reaction
it's
even
like,
starts.
yeah.
Like, it's normal to him, but to other people, they look like, damn.
Or did you know, oh, this is one of them
Well,
moments?
I didn't know, but even when you writing it, I get a sense of, man, I don't know where it's coming from. So it's like it's happening at that time. Just like when you doing a move and you like, I don't know what, and it's happening.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when you, because when you start flowing, any rapper, they know what I'm talking about. Like you get the rapper spirit where words start coming together like, oh, 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 oh. You know, and it's kind of a thing that you not, like I could have never thought of that on my human own. You know what I mean? So at that point, when I say the spirit working on, whatever you believe in, you believe in God, you believe in Jesus, all that kind of stuff. But the spirit, there's something underneath, like, these are earth suits. We just wearing it to be able to talk and walk in. But the spirit in there, you know, that when we die, go somewhere else, the spirit, that get to working, man. And that's
Don't
when
get
you,
me talking
that's when
about
you,
this kind of...
when you channeling, like as a musician, man, musicians I know it the same way. Like it's really an alive spirit, and that's where you want to be.
I know from a listener's aspect, when I listen to music, I have a sense of, oh, that motherfucker was in a bag when they was writing that or in the booth saying that.
I
can feel that, like, or like you saying how the words is just hitting off each other, like
that's that spirit.
Like you like, oh.
That's that spirit.
It's a little confidence in there too that.
Yeah, of course, because you know you put the work in. But
you put the work in, but it's definitely a feeling of I'm not sure how I did that.
It's the confidence in the work, but you clearly know that it's almost a humbling thing too.
It is.
Because you know, whoa, this ain't me.
Exactly.
So some people can take it as, oh, I'm that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, I'm just a. You know what I mean?
Talk about that a little
and
bit.
it's happening. You know
I
what I
be
mean?
like, that was God, because ain't no way. I be like, that's God. Like,
Yeah.
when there was something crazy happen, I be like, that was God, y'all.
Yeah,
I
it's
ain't
some,
just do that. That was God.
it's something happening, man, and that's where you want to be. Like, that's the best place to be.
When it appears as if I'm in my bag, I know that it's God. You know, and I think all I can do is be obedient to the call. And the more I'm obedient to the call, I know he's gonna show up. And all that does is give me the confidence that I'm in purpose, that I'm in his intention for what he wants me to do. And like you said, Dre, it's like, it's more humbling than it is like, look at me. It's like, God, I can't believe you could show up through me like that.
We were having a conversation in the back about money always matters, but at a certain point it can't be the most significant thing in terms of like how you make decisions. Like, what is your decision-making process in terms
that
of like,
balance,
like in terms of like when you're creating,
Conviction.
what's driving that?
Peace. Like, no amount of money in the bank account can like make me sleep good at night that fear God's gonna be okay.
Period.
As long as I know that I'm doing what I'm called to do, that's where I find my peace. And that's like the lane I have to like stay in, is like being right with him. You know, and that's like, you know, last few years, you know, I kind of fell off that track a little bit and started to think it was me.
You felt that?
You felt that? Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How did you know you had fallen off, and what stopped you? Like, oh, let me get it.
I was
Did something happen?
self-medicating, you know, with stress. I, you know, started looking everywhere except to him for direction. And then the dangerous thing is when you do that, you take on the weight that you're not supposed to carry. It's his weight, not ours. You know, there's no way I can run a company. There's no way I can make decisions if me and him aren't right.
And Sexy, you as an artist, how do you balance out, like, we gotta get to the bag now, we gotta get it, versus like, you have a vision for your career and what that thing looks like, right? Because it's not all created equal.
I'm patient. I be like, I'ma just wait my time, and
That's awesome.
yeah, like I just.
Where's that patience come from?
Cause I be knowing like what it is. I be like, I know what I'm capable of. So like, it's just gonna take them to notice. Like, so I be like, I'm just keep doing me. Like, I'm patient. Everybody got their own times. Like, but like he said, you do feel when you falling off, and you just gotta get back in mode, and then you keep going. You feel that. You feel like, okay, I'm back. Like,
How you know if you falling off that track?
if I don't keep doing the same that I was doing, like to keep me where I was, and then get dry, you could just tell like you ain't having motion or something like, and it be boring too. So it's like you need to stay busy and do something.
Stay engaged.
Yeah, stay engaged.
You're the king of staying. This been engaged his whole life. He never.
You don't want to fall off. You gotta do what you was doing to
You have
stay.
You unplug for a
You
day.
gotta do a
for a day or
self-check
two.
all the time. Like, am I
Yeah.
still alive? And
And sometimes you gotta let people go that's negative or bring you down, because negative
for
energy
sure.
be real. Like, you could be a positive person, but negative
yeah.
people that bring your energy, like,
Yeah, for sure. And you young too, like, you know, we the older statesmen over here. Like, you young, and I mean, for you to know that right now, that's one of the hardest
LeBron,
things in the world when
How
you're
do
younger.
you deal with
Man.
that as a athlete on a team?
Yeah.
If we're on a team
Yep.
and there is a guy that's bringing negative energy here, but we're on a team. He's showing up to
Yeah.
practice every day. He on the bus with you, on the
Yeah.
plane. If you were in a group, you could be like, yo, I'm out of this group. But on a team,
Yeah.
you
Deal
might
with
be
it.
stuck with that.
Yeah, yeah.
How you deal
know,
with
you,
it?
you will be.
I'm sure that
we
ain't
all
happen
see
to you.
Huh? LeBron makes changes.
We all see it.
You ice him out or something? What do you do?
I don't try to. I don't know if I will ice him out. I just try to keep my own. Now you gotta start tapping back into your own piece.
Exactly.
Because the worst thing that can happen is you allow something that you have no control over affect your inner peace.
Okay, but let me
Yeah.
ask you this. If we have a guy in the locker
Yeah.
room who's bringing negative energy, you're able to go, okay, he's not gonna my, but you see he's with PR and we need PR to win.
Well, I gotta go talk to Pete.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
So
I gotta
that's
go.
it.
Now I got my direction and my energy is towards Pete.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know, and I will start with that individual first.
To try
but,
and
But if
move
I
it.
know I can't get through to him, you know, at a rate that I need him to get through to, you know, now I have to shift it.
You can't save him. You
I
gotta.
can't save him. I have to shift it to somebody
Make
else.
sure he don't
Maybe
spread
it's not spreading through everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's just contagious.
Yeah.
But at what point do you say, hey, I'm LeBron James and our goal here is to win a championship?
Oh yeah, forget yeah.
And
yeah,
if we
I
need
mean,
to make a change,
one thing that
then
I
I
know
need to
a
make
good
a
friend of
change.
ours, Jimmy Iovine, one of our favorite quotes is when the gets bigger than the cat, you get rid of the cat. You know, and
That's the truth. That's in everything in
when
life.
they get bigger than the cat gotta go, because at the end of the day, nobody is bigger than what is our main goal?
Yeah.
We all come here as a team. We say we're a team. We set the main goal, and every time quarterly, you know, we say, okay, this is what we want to accomplish. And then out of left field, you coming in here and you saying, no, I ain't going through the back door. I'm going through the front. This is how I want to tackle. But no, literally, the enemy is right there at the front door. Don't go through the front. We can go through the back and infiltrate through this way and be more tactical about it. No, this is what I'm on. I'm on this. I'm going through the front.
That ain't no
All
team
right,
player.
go ahead, go through the front.
You gotta be a team player.
Go ahead, go through the front. We you know, respect, do your thing. The rest of us, we're gonna tackle it through the back.
But that
Right.
took you a while to develop. That's the
Yeah. Well, you know, you wanna. When you're a young man,
do
and
it as-
when you're a young from the hood, you always feel like you want to be a part of drama. So if I come in with bad energy, I want to have bad energy, and
Let's get at it.
What's up?
Drama with
Drama
drama.
with drama. That's all you know. That's all you know. That's just
Sure.
drama means drama, man. When you
Yeah.
get older, you know what I'm saying? You start having kids. You know,
Oh, my
you know,
God.
But
yeah.
Sexy, you sound like you already there.
Yeah.
Bruh, like, I know I be tripping because, like, now, because this how I know I be tripping, because, like, I get mad and go off on somebody, and if they come back at me and hit me with something, like, on some nice shit, then I be like, oh, I was tripping. I'm sorry, my bad, I ain't mean to just, I'm sorry, you nice, I don't even want to do you like that. I ain't mean that.
Dre was talking about earlier, listening to all different type of genres of music. You obviously just performed with Zach Bryan band, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was that? How did that feel to get brought in by that audience? Were you nervous?
Well, it's also country music for those
Yeah.
that don't know. Like, which is,
I be nervous meeting people because, I don't know, like, I'm a shy person. And I ain't know how he was gonna be, but they like, he wanna bring you out, so.
Was you nervous because of him or because of the crowd? Like, was you like, damn, this crowd gonna know who the
I
hell?
don't be caring about like what people think about me, but I don't know, it just was something different. So I'm like, why he wanna bring me out? Like, we two totally different people, but they like, he like you. So I'm like, okay.
and did we hear that correct? Sexyy Red is shy? Is that?
Yeah, I am, I be getting nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
Before shows or before what?
Before shows, just period. Like, if I gotta meet people, like, I'll be shy.
Where's that So me as a regular civilian person, I look at you guys.
Yeah,
like,
very regular, huh?
regular.
Yeah, very regular.
Right?
Got
It's
it,
like
yeah.
I look at you guys as like you guys at the pinnacle of like what you guys do. To hear that you're nervous bugs me out. Like you got nervous still today before a show?
Man,
Yeah,
like,
every time.
A homie of mine, Carlos Nino, he was like, because sometimes before shows, you know, we're in our huddle and I'm nervous. Yeah, I get nervous every time we about to perform, even Outkast. But he was like, oh yeah, you're full of nerves. Your body's full of nerves. You're supposed to be nervous. If you're not nervous, it's almost like a checker to make sure you're still alive. So nerves just let you know I'm alive. You know, so I treat it like that. Like, it's just letting you know, getting your body ready for we about to go into something.
Yeah, for me, the nerves for me feel like I'm still in it. Like I'm still in it. The fact that I can still get nervous before a game or a match or whatever the case may be, no matter if it's a random Tuesday in Milwaukee or if it's
in season 20, you still get nervous for a regular season game. Soft Tuesday.
Yeah, because I mean,
that's a lot of pressure.
Somebody gonna be in the stadium that night, man, 20,000 that maybe have never seen me play before. So like I'm thinking about that type of like how my performance gonna be. I can't bed tonight for this person that's for the first time coming to see me play. Like, you know, that's nerves. And then, you know, maybe my baby girl tonight, maybe she stayed up late. You know, maybe Zuri stayed up late watching her dad play tonight, you know? Because I done came home before and she's like, I done came home before and Zuri was like, Dad, you know I can help y'all, right? Dad, I just need a uniform, Dad, and I can help y'all, for sure. But like, you know, like, I think, you know, back to what Stacks was saying, just like, it's a sense of just like feeling alive and just being present still. You know, like you just feel present, like even though you can feel it in your stomach though.
But you still also think about not necessarily get nervous, but like the feeling of like, because one thing about sports, we were talking about sports earlier, like I'm gonna dominate my matchup. The guy that's matched up with me, I'm here to dominate you tonight, bro. That's not necessarily nervous, a little anxious to do that.
Yeah, that comes after the nerves kind of
go away. After you break a sweat and somebody
it's probably the same way for y'all, like when that beat drop and y'all finally get and y'all see the crowd saying you like, oh, I'm about to dominate this moment.
Yeah, you gotta get in mode. Like,
you said that and Stacks grabbed the flute.
He like,
I was just gonna say that because like me and my friend, we compare rapping to basketball. Like we be like this person was new in the game and they was the hottest and they was at all. Like we always compare rapping
for
to
sure.
basketball.
So you got that nerves, Mav, and then like right kind of before, you know, the curtains open and you see the crowd and the lights come on, boom. You like, now it's time to dominate.
Oh God, I'd be like. I'd be in the bag. They like, it's okay, you got this. I'd be sipping water, like, somebody pass me this. They like, calm down. And I'd just be standing there quiet, like, then as soon as the stage up, I come out there like,
like,
y'all ain't gonna know I'm nervous back here.
And you talked about Hollywood Bowl being nervous, right? Like same thing, like you're nervous till lights and music plays and then you're in it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think for us, for fashion, like we in it when the collection shows up and we styling out, getting ready for it. It's like, all right, it's on, it's game.
It's on,
like,
it's game time. Man, I got 2 questions for you, man. It's 2 verses that stick out in my head.
Let's get to it. We're in the shop, baby. Let's get to it.
The shop.
One verse you did with, I think it was T.I.'s song.
Sorry, my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait, before you do that.
We're talking about a pocket.
Before you go, these 2 gotta go.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for doing this, brother.
LeBron James.
Red.
Keep going, Big Sexy. Do your thing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go smoke, y'all.
Yeah, keep doing your thing.
Love, Sexy.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Oh, man.
Jiaoying, good to see you.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? Good.
Hi, André. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yes, sir. How you feeling, man?
Amazing.
Awesome.
Nigel Sylvester. What's good? Long overdue.
I'm surprised you ain't got the DMX with you, man. You
Should've
put that
rolled
motherfucker
out
right
on
by
it,
the
but I wasn't sure.
right by the
You should have
chair.
parked the Willie right to the
I could have
shop.
parked it right here,
You should have
right?
pulled up right with the Willie.
Man, next time.
So go ahead. So you had 2
Oh
verses.
yeah. I mean, we was on the conversation. We was on the conversation about when you in the zone and you know you was in the zone.
Okay.
Sorry, and then what's the track that he did with Devin the Dude too when he's explaining to the college kids?
That may be the best verse I've ever heard. Remember that?
What's the?
It's called What a Job.
What a job.
By the way,
With
Dre.
Snoop. With Snoop.
Snoop
Yeah,
and
with
Devin.
Snoop and Devin.
Yeah.
That is a slept-on song.
Oh my God.
Man, I forgot all about that one. But what's crazy is a lot of people
Because you talk to the couple and they be crying And the whole thing is you like, this is why I love this job.
Yeah, man.
We sat around the beat like a campfire.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'll be forgetting about a lot of that stuff, man. But what's crazy, a lot of people don't know that Devin the Dude was very inspirational when we were kids, because he was in a group called Odd Squad. Odd Squad was a group from Houston, I think, or Texas. And they used to have this song called Up Yo for Show, to trying to get some more.
By the way, that's a classic.
You know what I'm saying?
That is a
man, like, and we used to be kids rocking out to that.
Song.
Like,
That's a classic Devin.
but he was in that group before
he
was Devin the Dude. And so I was like so happy that he reached out for me to get on What a Job, because I was like, man, you don't understand how much being big, like, you should listen to Odd Squad. Yeah, I think they were signed to Rap a Lot.
Yeah, for sure. Devin was a Rap a Lot.
Yeah, he was Rap a Lot.
Yeah. So, and then a Sorry verse is like a very deep, almost like, it feels like therapeutic for you a bit. Like you're saying something that you have been, to me,
y'all put me
as
on
a
that
fan.
song.
Like you have been holding this in, and you like the song is so sorry. You apologize to some people about some you have been going through.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like as a rapper, man, I grew up in the most effective rappers. They talked about real in their life. And so when I became a rapper, that's kind of what I wanted to do. So a lot of times I'm just letting people know that I'm human and I go through things. So them verses be real for me. You know, they not just, you know, rap or I'm that braggadocio, which, I mean, that's cool too, but I be wanting to like, to connect with people. You know what I mean? Like hit them.
I know you ain't on your rap right now, but I'm definitely listening to those 2 verses on my way home.
Let's go.
For sure. I swear to God, I got
Let's
to.
go. I hadn't heard them in a long time.
I got to tap
By the way,
into those.
since we're asking, I'm gonna get mine in, since we're asking about verses, the UGK verse.
Oh, of course.
Which
so good.
To this day gets played at weddings.
Oh yeah, for sure. First of all, at Draymond's wedding, we went crazy.
That was like the entrance.
That was the entrance.
That was
I don't know if you know that. So Draymond Green got married, and that was their entrance.
That was the entrance.
Hard,
they walked
man.
into that. My shoes never let
The dichotomy of Dre going and then the beat dropping.
Yeah.
But okay, so I got a funny story about that. You know, rest in peace, Pimp. But I got a story about that. Pimp was so mad at me because they sent the beat, and I, you know, wrote my verse, put my verse down, and I took the beat out for me to rap. When I sent it back to them, Pimp was like, man, this motherfucker, man, this don't goddamn, you know, this don't goddamn take my beat out. Like, who the he think he is? So he was really mad at the choice that I made to take the beat. And then I don't know if it was Bun or somebody, they were like, no, but you understand, when that beat dropped though, it set it off. So it's almost like a setup. And
for you. It's
for him.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like,
yes.
So it worked. And once he got there, he was like, okay. But he was so mad at me. He was like.
The song is called International Players Anthem. The song, Pimp C goes second. His name is Pimp C, first off. Second off, he's one of the best rappers ever lived, but his rap is about being a pimp and being a player. Dre's verse is about, no, I'm ready to get married. You wouldn't think it works, but because it's real, you are real and Pimp is real, and then everybody else, it really works and flows.
So good.
So
it's so
there
real.
You're just trying to find a way to contribute to a song. You know, like, okay, I know I ain't no pimp like that, so, but my homies are, you know, so how can I display a situation that makes sense for the song? And so you just set it up and where I was in my life at the time. I wasn't, you know, trying to get married at the time, but I know I wasn't no pimp either. So it's kind of like that setup of that story made what Big and everybody else doing made sense. Even like the Kanye song, like, I knew that subject matter because my mother had died, his mother had died. Yeah. So I was like, okay, how can I set Ye up to talk about Miss Donda? Hey, Miss Donda, you know. So it was my mama talking to his mom, but it's like you figure out how can I make a useful contribution to the song.
Yeah, and
even What a Job is kind of like to explain what a job this is that I'm doing. So you try to make just some type of...
If you ever listen to What a Job, go listen. It's one of the greatest verses ever.
I'm sending it to you right now. I got my phone.
I got to give these guys credit.
Summers, you got to go home and listen to all this.
I love your song, Hey Ya. It's also my cousin's name.
Oh. Thank you.
But that same thing in what he's saying...
Hiya.
There's a thing in comedy that you do really well. Your comedy
She say some real.
It's so
Oh,
real.
yes, she do. Yes,
It's
she
so
do.
real about your experience growing up and who you are. Some comedians choose to talk about their personal things in their life, and some talk about what's happening in the world. You choose to make it very personal.
Yeah, because I can say whatever. They can't cancel me. They can't pronounce my name. You know, they were like, John, yeah, Mei Ling from Panda Express. Who is that? I can say whatever.
You know, she's talked about her parents almost
Oh yeah,
throwing
they,
it away.
Yeah,
they
for
found
sure.
out my was missing. So my
Threw in the dumpster, that she said.
Yeah.
Yo.
Also, Andre, you saw me coming, so you get a traffic cone. I'm not driving right now. Why am I doing this?
No, I just like traffic cones, and I saw one outside. I was like, hey, can I use this and put it right here? Yeah.
But you choose to make her comedy is very.
Oh, she go there.
She go there.
She go there.
And you know you love that feeling. How would you be if you went to China? In China, do they accept your jokes?
No, they don't like me because I talk. Yeah, I'm not popular. I mean, they like me, but they just think I talk too much, and that's also why my husband left. They got to know me. They're like, oh, she talks. They can't mute me.
Where was your husband from?
I don't remember. I think the first one is Russian. I didn't know his I didn't know it coming. He just invited me one day. Like, okay, he's here. I went to Kentucky. LeBron, I know you are from Ohio. I went to Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky.
How did you start doing comedy, by the way?
Actually, I was auditioning, trying to get booked, but my accent, you know, I can't speak English. People don't like my accent. I couldn't get a job. But then one day I was auditioning for John Singleton, his TV show called Rebel. It is a black girl, she's a cop from Oakland, and then a Chinese girl is a sidekick, has no kung fu. So that's Rush Hour on a budget.
Rush Hour on budget.
Yeah, you're shooting, man.
So I forgot my lines. I started doing improv, and John Singleton just started laughing. He's like, "You're very funny. Do you know who this? This is Ali Wang. You should do stand-up comedy." So I'm like, "Do I have the job now?" He's like, "Hell no. I don't understand what you said." But he got me into open mics, and I started doing open mic. Then I bought a club in 1 month.
Wow.
That to me, that's very awesome that you bought a club, because you kind of like made your own space for you to try out your own jokes.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's entrepreneurial. And
I knew I wasn't good, and I needed 10,000 hours, and nobody wanted me on stage, because when you are not good, nobody wants you on stage. So I bought a club.
Where at?
Melrose and Cahuenga is right
That's
there,
hard,
and
man.
that's what happens when you don't marry for love.
Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
But I can't stand outside though. I have Mexican working for me, because if I stand outside, people always want to get their nails done. They're like,
Yo. Jesus.
You know what I love about comedians? Like, it's the same thing that as a kid, what I loved about rappers. Like, comedians, they can say what they want to say.
Yeah.
And it's real, but it's like in an accepted way, because
It's
you
art.
laughing.
Right.
With rap, you rocking to a beat, so I can say whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think there's a certain realness, and I think comedians are the realest out.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
But they trying to hush them now, though, right? Which I think
Which is
wrong.
horrible.
I think it's horrible. They're supposed to make fun of society and what we go through.
Yeah, like we getting too touchy, man.
I
Like,
agree.
My two favorite in the world, they're not letting nobody silence them, and that's Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
Those are my two favorites that I know I could get a good old school when I was growing up laugh, because they're not letting nobody.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
'cause
their art form. It's art. It's like
art.
art. There's realness about what y'all do, and to be able to say y'all truth, but also having the ability to make households laugh, is something that should never be taken away.
yes.
You know, that when we was growing up, you already know we always. We roast sessions all the time.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
everybody
could
could get
it. That's part of
That
it.
made you tough.
That made you tough. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got-
like
for
we
sure.
call it Joning.
Joan,
Joan.
In
Yeah.
Atlanta, you gonna get joned out.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, making black people laugh is the hardest thing. They don't give you pity laugh. If you're not funny, they're just like, I did the Apollo Theater last year.
Did you get through your set?
Yeah, I did
Okay,
1
that's
hour.
big. That's a win. Oh, that's
And
big.
it was very scary, because black people don't give you pity laugh. You know,
They
they are
do
like
not.
Chinese moms. They'll tell you why you suck, and they will make sure you understand
True.
you should die.
Black people show up to the show just
Yeah.
like,
Crazy.
she ain't about to make me laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to work
Yeah.
really hard to make
Yeah.
They show up like
me
this.
laugh.
Yeah, and pay for tickets.
Yeah,
right.
What does your
Somebody
mom
says-
think of your comedy?
Oh, she's like, just because you're ugly doesn't mean you are funny. You know, not ugly people are funny. I said, Mama, I was not ugly. I was Miss China 2014. She goes, no, you're older. You're Miss Chinatown.
Damn.
You Miss Chinatown.
She's
Miss China,
she's so quick on the goddamn draw.
Oh, quick as
Like,
like yes. She said you Miss China and Miss Chinatown.
So one of the things Stax mentioned was that he respected of you being entrepreneurial. I mean, we have a young entrepreneur here, young Nigel Sylvester. I've known Nigel and I go back too far at this point that I want to share how long, right? But I've always respected that when you ask who Nigel is, it's like he's a BMX star, but you don't compete, right?
Not
You
at all.
literally created your own lane. Talk a little bit about that.
Nah, I had to. Coming up in the game for me, man, like, it was all about content, right? It was like, I asked my mom to get me a little Sony Handycam. And I remember like that Christmas, by the time I got the camera working, it was too dark outside. So I used the Christmas lights on the house to light up the frame to shoot content. Because I understood like I needed to create these videos. This is prior to the internet, right? There's no social media, there's no YouTube yet. So to get sponsored, which was the dream for me to go pro, had to make sponsor me tapes. So I would shoot these videos and kind of send them out to different brands. Nobody sponsored me off of that, of course. Like, it was the thing, but that's what I got into. And from that point, I was like, okay, I know I need to be self-sufficient and build my brand up.
And you always knew that you wanted to ride, like you used to do that when you was a kid? Because I mean, obviously, we all used to ride bikes. I mean, you know, just doing it with the homies, riding around, thinking you can jump and spin them up. Thinking you can spin the handlebars and fall. Like, how
you get good at that?
How you knew, like, I'm nice with it.
You know, for me, like, it happened when I was 4 years old.
You said 4?
4 years old. So I was staying at my grandmother's house when I was a kid. She had a daycare. And she always had kids around and toys and everything in the driveway. And I came outside one day and there was a tricycle in the driveway. For some reason, I was like, I'm gonna get on it and rip it around the driveway. And I'm pedaling it super fast. And, you know, a tricycle has the pedals on like the front wheel. And for some reason, I decided to lock up the front wheel. And the back of the tricycle spun around. And my older cousin was like, yo, do that again. So I did it again. He was like, oh, now that's crazy. So he set up these cones, similar to that cone right there. He set up these cones in the driveway and was like, do that around those cones. And I started drifting on my tricycle. I was 4 years old. And I fell in love with bicycle riding that day.
I love
So you've been riding bikes since then?
Since then.
And you want to do it the rest of your life?
I knew to that point, like, I love bike riding. At 12 years old, I realized, okay, I can do this pro. I seen it on TV. I was like, I seen guys with their helmets and their chest pads, all the stickers on, going on the ramps. I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. And Nigel, we sit here knowing the success you've had and the brand you've built and all of those things, but take us back to when you're in Queens and you're telling the homies, I'm gonna be a BMX rider. They're like, what are you even talking about?
I mean, listen, I grew up in Laurelton, Queens, right? Predominantly black neighborhood. So I'm coming around talking about I want to be a professional bike rider. They're like, you're that white boy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what it was, because at that point in time, our experience was just seeing young white men creating, like, having success at BMX riding. We didn't have any skate parks, there was no media around, like how are you gonna do that? And I sorted out, man. Like, I had to go to the city, I had to go to Manhattan. And that's where, like, a bunch of riders from, like, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, whatever would, like, congregate.
Black and white.
Black, white, everything.
Everything,
man. And that's why I started to, like, that's why I met my tribe, per se.
That's when you got it. Who you gonna be with?
Right, and I started to meet different photographers, different videographers who put me onto the game. And that's how I started to get my name out there, man.
That's dope. Now, Dre, one thing I want to ask you about is, like, we had LL on the show, he was like, I'm about to put out another album.
Yeah.
And we started talking about you. I don't know if you saw it, but we started.
Of course I saw it.
Of course, we started talking about you. And he was like, that I want to hear Dre rap. Like, it's cool to be older rapper, like people are trying not to be like as you get older, not rap. What's your thoughts on that?
But to be clear, he was like, I don't want to hear him play the flute. I want to hear him rap.
Yes, he did say that for sure.
Yeah, and to me, like, I feel like if it's in you, because I still got homies my age and older than me that still rap. So I'm like, if it's in you, you should rap until you die. You should perform until you die, like, if it's in you. But what I'm saying is what it takes for me to do it, I'm always looking for the next. I'm not trying to uphold a thing that I've done before. Like, I'm trying, like, of course I have things to say now, but if I can't say them in a fresh, innovative way, like if I feel like I'm just hanging on to something, a same flow that I used to do, or then it's not enough for me. So I can't talk for another rapper about what they doing. I just say, man, go for it, like if it's in you.
You still get people sending you tracks all the time, I'm sure, right? Like,
you
you do this?
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to say no to people?
No, it's not hard because, no, it's not because, I mean, and what I always say is, it depends on the beat, because sometimes somebody can send me a beat and I go right in.
And you'll feel it.
Well,
Yeah, and it may not be
like.
like a popular artist, like even the Walk It Out song, he was a local Atlanta guy. Like he didn't have records, but my homie sent me the beat and I was like, oh yeah, I'm on this.
You felt it.
Yeah, so
Can you feel it like in the minute you put it on, you gotta listen to it a couple times?
I can know that I want to get on it as soon as I hear it.
Oh, wow.
And there are songs that I wanted to get on so bad. It was a very famous Wayne song, and I think Juicy J was on it. What's it?
Bands that make her dance, that's Juicy J.
Bands that make them dance.
Yeah,
I'm
bands
like,
that make.
so much jam. But
That beat is hard as.
That beat hard.
I
As
could
soon
not
as it comes
write, and
out,
I tried all kinds of ways.
Did you have verses, or that didn't sound right? Like, did you record anything?
No, because I'm a writer. I'm not
Oh,
a freestyle, like, I pen things. So I do try
Bands
out
make the
things
dance do go crazy.
to myself, you know, in my head to see
Yeah.
if it's working. And it just, I couldn't get it working.
Can you imagine stacks on that, a verse on that?
Man, I wanted to be
Crazy.
on that so bad, man. Like,
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing, it's a billion artists hoping they pull something from you. They send you.
but for me too, like, cause it's therapeutic,
Yeah,
and
for
it get a
sure.
chance for me to
Yeah.
go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's a blessing to go. A lot of people think like I'm holding rap, so it's like I
course
ain't
not.
rap. No,
Yeah.
like rap is awesome. Like,
Yeah, since we're on that topic, talking about like new that we working on, I got this new album coming out.
You about to send it to me?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get it to man. He gonna get it to you, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you pretty cool, but if not, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it.
So Stacks, is there a chance that we may see Andre 3000 do stand-up?
yes.
Woo! I'm so
Yeah.
excited. You're a poet,
yeah.
anyways.
But when they asked me about rapping, and I was like, I ain't got nothing to rap about at 50, like what I'm gonna rap about, like Cole now speak, that's actually one of my jokes.